Hey, everybody, I want to welcome you back to Printing's Alive, the only podcast that's here to promote everything print everywhere, any kind of print. So just a reminder to everybody, if you like the podcast, if you want to be on it for a good reason with print, tell me. If you know someone that should be on it, let me know as well. All right, let's get into it today. Today I have another special guest. I know I say that because I love print and everyone I talk to, I think they're super special. This one is a little bit super special to me. Not only because of what they do, but because of where they come from. And you all know I have a soft spot for Israel. And for, I don't know why, and I had it on the first podcast, but Israel seems to be a really big place for technology and print. And today I have Yehuda Niv from spines.com. Welcome, or shalom.
Shalom. Thank you for hosting me.
It's a pleasure to have you. So I came across the website just because I like AI and everything, but Spines is the first AI-based company in publishing in the world to do what they do. And when I didn't tell you what they did yet, but when I came across it, I was like, oh man, I got to get them on here. I want everyone to hear about this. So Yehuda, tell me, I have so many questions. I'm going to bang off a couple questions first, because then I want to let you roll with what it is. So like, first of all, how did you get into it? What were you thinking? And really, what is the purpose and what are you doing with it? And then I'll ask you some more after, but let's roll.
So maybe I'll start from the early beginning, where about 13 years ago, I published my first book. And I was back then throughout my master degree at electronics engineering. And I realized that the publishing process is broken. So I decided to bootstrap my own publishing company, named Niv Publishing. I wasn't that clever about the name though. Niv is my last name. And it started in my dorm room when I was a student, but it's grew to become the largest publishing house in Israel. In Niv Publishing, we publish over 1,200 titles every year. Just for reference, the next competition in Israel can publish about 300 titles a year. So we are 4 times larger and quicker than everyone else here. And about 5 years ago, I finished structuring the management team in Niv Publishing. Finally, I got my life back. I could rest a little bit. And I started to do some M&As. I acquired different publishing houses, integrated them into what has become Niv Group. And I started to do some angel investing. And while I'm doing that, I came across this upcoming technology back in the day. It was two years before ChatGPT released, and I kind of realized that a revolution is coming. It will disrupt every industry, publishing included, and I better do something about it. Either I will become irrelevant by it, or I could be the one who lead this opportunity in the world. So of course, I decided to be the pioneer. I started another company named Spines. Back then we have a different name, but we update that to Spines. And I started with my own capital. I realized it will be very, very easy to develop that technology. Soon I realized my capital will never be enough. So we raised at the beginning from angel investors, and then we had a seed round led by Aleph. It's a top tier VC focused on early stage companies in Israel. The partner in Aleph who led around is Michael Eisenberg.
Makes it easier.
And he published few books before that. So one of the first questions I asked him is, how was your publishing process? And he told me terrible. And I'm like, he get us, he know what we are doing. And it was a $6.5 million seed round. We launched the product on early 23. We grew in revenue about 1,000% in that year. That's what led us to the seed round. And after that, throughout 24, we kept that same growth rate. And we had a Series A, $60 million Series A led by Orn Zev. Is one of the top tier investors in the Valley. And for me, it's a huge opportunity to work with him. So we've been growing very, very fast, but now I will explain what we're actually doing. So in the American publishing industry, there are about 2.5 million titles published annually. Okay. However, only 50,000 of them are published the traditional way. That means that a publisher invest his own time and money and capital inside the book, and he is looking to making revenue from selling copies of that same book. And most of the authors will never have this opportunity, okay, because they are first time authors. They are not famous. No one are waiting for their next book, okay. So their only chance to getting their book published is they have to invest time and money in the process. That will cost them somewhere between $10,000 to $50,000 to get their manuscript published as a book. Either they will go to a self-publishing process. That means they now have to figure out publishing, which is a super complex task, okay? Or they will go to a vanity publisher, and it has its own advantages and disadvantages. So now, finally, authors have a different alternative. That's Spines. So with Spines, we are not a publishing house. We are not a self-publishing service. We are a publishing platform. That's a new concept. So what we do, we allow anyone to upload their manuscript. Our tools can help them do the formatting, the proofreading, the cover design. Okay, so we can scan
Wow.
the book, understand what it's about, start to suggest categories. There are so many categories to choose from. You have to choose that very wisely. Then we optimize the metadata. That's what will determine the visibility of the book in the different channels. We can create not only ebook and print on demand versions of the book, we can also create an audiobook version of the book
No
using
kidding.
our Yes, using our own 60 synthetic voices, or we can use the author's own voice. Okay. And instead of him going 40 hours into a studio, we only need 3 minutes of his voice. We can create a model of his voice and generate the whole audiobook with his own voice. And then we can list the books across 100 distribution channels worldwide, not only on Amazon. Barnes and Noble, Baker and Taylor, Book a Million, the book is listed everywhere. And then Spines actually become the royalty management system. We can manage the royalty for them and can help them market their book as well on the different channels. So for me, Spines is a 360 degrees solutions, A to Z solution for authors. From the day they finished writing the manuscript until the book is published, distributed, and marketed. So, by the way, there is a huge misconception when we announced our $16 million Series A. People thought that when I said that we're about to publish 8,000 new titles in 2025, people
They
thought that we
thought.
are generating the content with AI. All the books we published are 100% written by human beings. We just lowered the barrier of them to become a published authors. Instead of them going to a 6 to 18 months of a process and investing tens of thousands of dollars in the process, with Spines, it's only 2 to 3 weeks. You probably have a lot of idea of what I'm talking about, right? So
I'm sitting here and I'm busting and I'm thinking, not to interrupt you, but I'm thinking, where were you 12 to 18 months ago?
we
Because
were very quiet.
everything you're saying,
Yes.
and I didn't write it. I had someone help me, but then they did the other stuff, and I'm thinking, oh my god, because I wish I had a little more control and understanding of the other stuff prior,
Yes.
right? So, wow.
But
Anyway, continue. Sorry, just
everything I'm doing, everything comes from my own experience, both as a published author, both as a publisher. Okay, like I met in one-on-one meetings with over 8,000 authors throughout my careers, and they all had the same complaint. Why didn't the cover designer read my book? Because he can't. He have to design covers. Okay, so with AI, we actually solve that because we scan the book, we understand what it's about, and we can start generate covers based on the book, based on how covers looks on those specific categories. So so it's a category oriented cover design. So we have so many solutions that we developed, and everything comes from me understanding what authors actually need. And we are so my mission with Spines is, in Israel I publish 1,200 titles a year, and I was wondering, will I ever be able to publish 1 million titles in my lifetime? And I realized that in the old way I will never be able. Okay, but with the new era of publishing, with the power of AI, I will probably will be able to do so. So that's Spines. That's my way of helping not only the Israeli authors but the whole world getting their book published. I believe, by the way, that the only reason we know what happened on planet Earth thousands of years ago is because people published books. And in the future, we might think that the digital media will last forever, but it probably won't. Okay, all the servers of Amazon need electricity. Who knows if it will be here in 1,000 years? But books that were printed, someone will find them. Okay, someone will read them, and books can stand the test of time. And for me, that's the mission: to help as much people as possible to get their book published, to make sure we can extend the human consciousness into the future as long as possible.
All I can say is, wow. My
Thank
head.
you.
I'm. First of all, I usually don't have a problem not talking. Now I'm sitting here. My head is on overload with all the things. First of all, you just said electricity and everything. I'm thinking right away, oh my God, in a natural catastrophe, when we're all stranded and we're stuck somewhere and you can't charge your phone or your Kindle, you can't read. The book could keep you sane. Even if you read the same book 6 times, you have something in your hand.
Yes.
I think the Kindle was a great idea, great invention. But as I said before, I have a Kindle. I don't really use it, but when I was using it, if I fall asleep reading the Kindle, I get a bruise in the morning. I fall asleep with the paperback book; it just falls lightly on my chest, and it's nice, right? But
Right.
so I think about. I just did a book, it was printed November, started, just in case everyone could see it. It was started about 18 months ago, 12 months ago. I worked with someone with the writing. They did the format. I didn't do anything, which is what you see a lot of today for people who want to put out books that don't know anything about books. You go to somebody.
Mm-hmm.
It was a long process. And even at the end, the person who wrote it, they did an okay job, but maybe after you see it in the end, you start to think of all these other things that you could change and how you would do it. And then I'm thinking, wow, like even on my end, using AI to get the book going. I said to the writer, I'm the author, he's the writer. I said, do you see AI affecting what you do? And at first he said, yeah, well, and I said, no. I said, you're looking at it all wrong. I said, I look at it this way. AI could only make your life easier in the sense that if someone like me might sit down and do the creation of the thoughts in AI to get the feel, the flow, the going, you'll then take it and then, craft it perhaps using Spine. But my friend said to me after, you're a dummy. Why didn't you use AI and create the book yourself and save that money? And I said to him, I'm a dummy. I said, you're a bigger dummy. I said, because what do I know about writing a book? How do I know it's a good book? I have no experience. You still, no matter what you're doing, even with AI, you need to know what you're doing.
I know. Yes.
Right? To know if it's good. So to the author, I said, you're not going to lose your job. I said, people are going to make your job easier and you might have to, do a little more proofreading, but you're going to get paid in the end and it's good. And then like you mentioned the cover, I had to go to my brother and a photographer and they sat down and they figured out, and that was another step. And we see with AI today how it speeds it up. So I'm just sitting here just going, wow. Are you, oh my God, so many questions. But are you outside of Israel now using it? Are people using it? Are you promoting it? Or how are you spreading it?
So Spines is focused only on American authors. We operate in the States. To date, we published 2,500 authors, and everyone are Americans, and all the books we published written by Americans, published in the U.S. We do offer different languages now. So what we can do, we can use the power of AI to translate books from different languages to English, or from English to different languages, and that will allow our authors an international opportunities. So let's say you already published your book in the US and now you want to publish it again in 4 or 5 new languages, you can do it with Spines. Same as, let's say you publish your book in Spanish, for Latin America, and now you want to
Verse.
introduce your book into the US market, you can translate it to English with Spines, and we will publish it in the US. So by the way, the translation is not 100% pure AI. It's a hybrid solution, okay? Because the accuracy is not there yet. What we're saying is AI for speed, human for quality. So it's a together
By the
process.
way, I love it.
Yes. So we have that in place right now. So we do offer that to Israeli authors, by the way, if they want to. Let's say they publish the book in Hebrew, and now they want to publish
But
the
they
book
don't know
in
English.
English.
Right.
Now they can use Spines to do that. Okay. So, but we are mainly
Wow.
focused on the American market right now.
Well, that's where the money is right now, right? Now, are there any publishing houses who come to you?
So I've been reached out a lot by so many publishers. When I just started this company, I had this decision to make. Either we will go direct to consumers, we will work directly with the authors, or we will offer that technology to publishers. But back in the day, before everyone talked about AI, when I try to explain publisher what we're actually doing, they all believed I'm a crazy guy, and it will never work. So and now we are so deep into being a direct to authors company. Just I tried to see if we can change our roadmap a little bit to offer publishers way in our technology, but we just recently decided that we will keep focus on the authors, keep giving them value,
Really?
and maybe by the end of next year we will allow publishers into using our technology and platform as well. So that's the it's a decision I made a few years ago, and I have to
Live with
keep
it.
going that path.
Now, is there anyone out there with something like this?
So I heard about a new companies who just had a seed round, and they didn't launch yet, so I don't know what they're actually working on. But right now, an AI-based publishing platform that takes care of production, distribution, and marketing. Spines, it's the only one that's available. But I'm pretty sure soon there will be more solutions, and then things will start being more interesting.
Yeah, well, listen, there always is more to come, right? Because that's
Mhm.
competition. But for those that are out early, for those that are out doing it right, for those that are out gathering the right data, and the egos aren't too big, have a good running start to be the head of the industry in that area,
Yes.
right? It's like, and so how do you? Oh my God, so how do you find your authors? How do they find you?
So we are building a very strong community of authors. But when we just started, we focused on the highest intent. Anyone who looked on Google how to publish a book, that's my customer. So and 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 now we are expanding that more. Our mission for 25 is to build a very strong brand awareness. Okay, because still Spines like you didn't heard about us before. So Spice, it's not that a strong brand name yet. My plans for this year is to do a lot of brand building activities to make sure that people actually hear about us, the right people hear about us, and trying our product and realizing how much our solution is amazing and can help them get their book published easily, fast. That's the yeah.
Will you speak to printing companies?
So right now what we do, we actually, when we are creating the files of the book for the distribution, we creating about 70 different versions of the same book. Why? Because each channel requires different sizing, different formats, and we'll list the books across all the channels. And every time let's say a reader wants to buy a book of Spines on Amazon, so a third party printer of Amazon print it and ship it to him. So That's the way we are working now with printed houses. And also we have the option for print on demand copies. Let's say the author wants, I don't know, 50 100 copies shipped to his home for him to resell or give away. So we have that option, and we actually print that with a different partner, which can give us and our authors a better offer. So we actually take care of everything for the authors. The
And you
printing.
have your vendors already for that? Because
Yes.
I just know a lot of people in a lot of countries. So if you ever need, I'm happy to help connect you with the
Amazing.
right print company that understands what you're doing and the end result. Because every print
As
company
long as
says
they
yes
have
to everything.
a good API, we can work with them.
Right. Yeah. No. Anyway, we'll talk about that one after. How many people on the team?
We just passed the 100 team members mark. It was very exciting, and we will probably finish 2025 with about 130.
Wow.
That's the plan, and we are growing. That's what important.
Oh no, for sure. And on the team, so when I was on the website and I look at the main team, how did everybody come together? Your core group.
So most of the managers in Spines started with me at Niv Publishing. So few of them are working with me very, very close for over a decade. Just
Wow.
for example, Niv of that. By the way, his first name is my last name, and that's a
Yeah.
coincidence. Okay. And he was the first CEO in Niv Publishing. Like he was like after me. So it was the first one that I actually felt comfortable to let him manage my baby. Okay.
Right.
So now he's the COO of Spines. So having the same team members who already helped me build a successful company before. Now we are building a new we are building Spines. So it's for me it's a very much more easier of a journey, because I actually took the talent from Niv Publishing, imported them into Spines, and now life are easier. So
And is everything under one umbrella now, or like do you have offices in different companies spread out?
Spines, we are separated. We have team in Israel, we have a team in Florida, we have team in Eastern Europe, and we have team in Latin America. And that's very hard, by the way, for me. For all the different time zones, I need to be awake
Oh,
around the
actually,
clock.
it's funny you mentioned times. You mentioned time zones, and we're talking AI. So, AI came out 2 years ago. It was been around a long time, but it came out 2 years ago. So the average human being is learning about it and playing with it, and now finding all the different benefits of it, which is good because it'll open everybody up to the possibilities of what it could do, and then you could build some trust within it. But I remember recently something I just learned on AI was I was trying to coordinate 3 people to be on the podcast from different places in the world. They all sent me their local times and what was good for them. And I'm like, oh my God, I got to take an Excel sheet. I'm going to list them all. I'm going to have to figure out daylight savings. I don't want to mess up and blah, blah. And then I said, no. And I copy pasted all into chat. And then I just prompted it to give me the common times, the common dates in my local time. And literally, like in 4 seconds, it spit out what everyone's time was the same. And then I just flipped it to say, hey, could you make me an email for inviting for one time? And then it did that. And then I said, could you make the email shorter? These people don't read. And then it gave me like a 2 sentence thing and sent it out, and everyone within 48 hours.
Amazing.
It might have taken me 2 days just to make sure my times in Excel were right.
Amazing.
Right? Because you do that.
Like what is happening nowadays is what happened 200 years ago with the industrial revolution, because like you can bring out the strongest person, he cannot lift the things that machines can lift. Same thing with complex tasks. So the clever person will probably soon will not be able to compete with AI, and those kind of tasks, everything will be solved soon with AI, and we just need to adapt ourselves, because this is what's happening, and we are living through that revolution. And if and the ones who wouldn't uh, adapt themselves will probably be will be will be irrelevant. Okay, so we need to
Well,
stay relevant.
you're not gonna lose your job to AI. You're gonna lose your job to someone who knows AI better than you,
Exactly,
right? Because even
exactly.
when the computers came out, they said everyone's gonna lose their jobs. We have more computers now than we ever had, and someone has to manage them,
Yes,
right? So it's
exactly.
no, I think the AI. I think AI in our world, um, will speed things up, will make us learn quicker. The only thing I got to remind everybody with the AI in the chat is you must read what you're doing. You must read it before you copy and paste.
Of
If you
course.
copy and paste, so just quickly because we're laughing, right? So I'm on LinkedIn and I do a bunch of posting, and I post one thing, and there's another fella who's coming at me, right? Like he wants to fight me, and he puts out this thing trying to whatever make me see something a different way or point out stuff, and I, I always say to myself, like, you got to relax online and watch what you say, because once you write it, it's not erasable. And even though it's usually an emotion in the moment, right? So he writes what he writes, and the steam is coming out of my ears because I'm really hot on the topic, and it happens to be an Israel topic. And I started doing this, and I had a whole thing, and oh no, you can't do that. What did I end up writing? I wrote, if you're going to use ChatGPT, make sure you read it and put your name in where the paragraphs are, where the brackets, because he did a copy and paste and
Nice.
never changed the name. So it's everybody's got to learn something along the way. Sometimes you learn the easy way, sometimes you learn the long way. So I'm a author now. I go and I write another book, which I got to start thinking about now because I want to use your service. And
Amazing.
the audiobook idea, I'm sitting here, blew me away. So actually, okay, so my first thought is I'm the author, I'm writing a book, I come to you, I go online. I didn't look at pricing or anything, but how much around does it start, or give me an idea on pricing? And then how long from the time I upload the book to I'm happy with the cover, it's laid out, and it's ready to go for distribution?
Amazing. So the way our model works is we have a few different life cycles of a book. So the first one is the production plan, which that whatever your book will need to be published. Okay, proofreading, formatting, cover design, audiobooks, ebook, print on demand book. Okay, and that's on the production plan. It starts from 1,200 up to 5,000. That depends of how much of a value you would like from the process. After it's done, probably it takes about 3 weeks to finalize everything. So the cover is done, the proofreading, the formatting, everything is done.
That's
Uh,
it.
3 weeks, as long as you are working with the same rhythm with us. Okay, so
Yes,
because you have
yes.
to approve everything. So if you never choose the cover, the book will never be
No,
done.
that's some right, but you're
Okay?
you're putting it out quick, and it's on the author's.
Yes,
The author's not waiting for you. Is the point?
yes. And after everything is completed, now there is the membership plan, which is actually the distribution in the royalty management tool. Okay, so that's also depends of how vast you like the distribution to be. Start from 19 a month up to 49 a month. Few different options there as well. And so then we list the book across all the channels, 100 different channels, and you start receiving royalty reports. And also, you do not have to figure out how to collect your money from each different platform. We do everything for you. You have everything in one centralized place. You only have to do the W9 file once with us, and that's it. And
I'm Canadian. I don't got to do that.
okay, amazing. And and also you are getting access to the marketing tools. So let's say you like to create an AMS campaign for your book. Their system, it's a rocket science. Most of the authors will probably go to an agency. They will have to pay a retainer. On top of the retainer, there will be a budget. After 3 months, maybe something will be done. So with our platform, you can choose a monthly budget. We have a fee from that, and we manage the marketing budget for you on all the channels you would like us to do so. So it's also a tool for you to market the books, and our tools can actually generate the content, the banners, suggest an audience, like take care of everything. So that's our.
Speechless.
It took me a while to develop all of that. Okay. So and by the way, like the options of the author to create his own voice, that's a new release. Like we only released that a month ago. Okay. But we are always improving, always releasing more features to make our value to the authors higher and the best as possible.
I'm spinning again because I'm thinking of my book. So I'm gonna. I just thought of this now. So I'm gonna run through my experience with my book, and then and this is the first time I've ever done anything like I could barely read, let alone write a book, right? So for everyone listening, you know I do video, but I'm gonna go through. I'm gonna tell you what I went through. And by the way, the person I was working with, he was awesome. I would recommend him. He was amazing. In case he watches this, I don't want him to think in any way that I'm trying to bang him out. I am not. I'm just trying to get a handle on what's really happening and how things are happening in the world and how fast they're moving. Because, you know, I will tell you personally, when the AI thing started, I was a little like, yeah, whatever, you know, like computers. And then like within a few months, I'm like, now I'm a founding member of Imagine AI conference, which actually is taking place in May in Las Vegas for anyone listening. So now I'm like I'm engulfed in it. Like I'm just, you know, it's around. So I go and I know nothing and I have an idea that I want to do a book. So I go to an author I'll call him an author service. And we sit down and we spend maybe 16 weeks doing the book. Every week he's asking me questions, puts it together. Then he did it. And I'm reading every chapter every week to approve. But what do I know? Because the book's not there. I'm just reading the chapters. Then you get more chapters. Then you got to go back and readjust the other chapters for a flow and to see where it goes. And again, what do I know about any of this? Mm-hmm. And then we keep going. The book gets done. Then I see it. Once it's written, I look at it. I read it. Even the font, I was like, I wasn't crazy about the font. Change this, change that. Another round. We do that. Then for the cover, I say, okay, what about the cover? I don't do covers. Oh no, you don't do covers. Now I got another job within this job, right? Yes. So I reach out to my brother, who's a designer, and my friend, my fishing buddy and photographer. And we sit down and I go over and I said, okay, he goes, what do you want to do with the cover? I go, what are you asking me for? I don't know what I want to do with the cover. You're the photographer, you're the designer, you talk, tell me what to do. And I'm talking from the perspective of, I really don't do this. I don't know it, right? So I just learned. Then I give the cover. Then the person was going to take care of the printing for me. And it was another country. And then I said to him, no, I've got to print it in North America because it's just not good for me to be promoting print from another country. I'm here. And to be fair, I said to him, tell me how much money you would have made on the print because I'm going to pay you the profit you would have made on the print because I'm not taking it away from you, but I can't not do it where I am. So I did that. And then he handled the Amazon for me and the Barnes and Noble, although Barnes and Noble isn't really anything. It's more Amazon today. So from where he is to what he's doing, now he's handling it, but it's done, excuse me, in his country, in his currency. And then he goes to pay me the royalty, but there's a holdback because of tax and that. And I'm thinking, I didn't do my homework. And no offense to him, I didn't do my homework. I should have known all of this. And I said to him, you should have an office, you know, in North America doing it here because why am I holding? It's just whatever. And then, so here I am, and then I find spines, and then I hear everything that you're doing. And with him, there's no conversation of audiobook because that's not what he set up to do. My book is listed on Amazon in 12 or 13 countries in English.
Okay.
No, but in English.
In English, yes.
Right? In Brazil, nobody's buying my book. Although I get to advertise I'm in Brazil. And maybe I could take a trip and write it off. But anyways, I don't have access. And then I'm sitting here and I'm listening, and for everybody listening, you always have work to do. If you think you're not going to have anything to do and you're going to push a button and it's just going to be there and ready, no. And I'm sure you're going to have a lot of deadlines that you're going to have to do because their system or anybody's system not going to finish without you pressing I approve, right? And that's even when I was running a printing company, waiting for people was also a problem then.
Yeah. By the way, like my dreams that I'm working on, which will probably take few more years to develop, is one-click publishing. That's like what I'm trying to create, but we are still far away from that. But what
you have to have a vision. You have to have a vision and a destination, right?
Yes. So, but what you just described, it's the common process that authors are going through, and you actually had a quicker one and more focused one because people get lost with their manuscript. It takes them sometimes year and a half, and they have no clue what they are doing, and there's so much misinformation. Like when you go to all the Reddit groups and the Facebook, you see like so much misinformation and a lot of experts that everyone tell other stuff. So what we are trying to create with Spines is because you finish writing your manuscript with the guy helped you, okay? We are getting right after that, okay, and from that to actually books that are being published, there is a whole process. You don't want the process, you want the end result, okay? So what I'm trying to do is to simplify the process, to make it shorter, easier, cheaper, affordable. You wouldn't have to go and explore the web and understand what publishing is all about. You just need to upload your manuscript after it's done, and we take care of everything. That's my vision. That's what I'm creating. So that's what Spanish is all about, to simplify the publishing journey.
I think it's great. I mean, for my first time, I mean, I don't know if I'm going to do another book, although 400 of these books did sell, which I'm kind of thinking, where is everybody? Because I didn't get enough reviews on Amazon. But I thought that was pretty cool. And actually, I get some pictures and emails from people, which is kind of heartwarming because to know. And I hope it's just not sitting next to their bed and they actually read it.
By the way, book you actually need to sell twice. Once for them to buy it, second for them to actually read it.
Right, exactly. So, but I'm sitting when this one came out and I go through the book, all of a sudden I'm thinking, oh my God, I forgot that. I forgot that. I forgot that. I should do that. I could do that. I'm talking to somebody yesterday and he's like, buddy, he goes, all that should be in your next book. And these are just people I'm talking to. So now I'm sitting talking to him. I'm talking to you and I'm thinking this task may have just got easier. Even if I wanted to sit down with chat, write my own 144-page book, because all books are generally for self-publishing smaller. I double space. I didn't have to use many words. And what a great way for a fun project to do that. And then I could either find a writer author to assist in the look or come right on there. And, as you go through everything. And then I haven't even touched the marketing thing and the distribution. Yes. So, just the time that I spend putting it online, doing a little video, putting it here, talking there, a post, a follow.
Yes.
It all becomes everything's very quick today, but everything's very time consuming because there's so many things you want to do.
Yes. And by the way, the marketing starts way before the marketing starts. Like how the cover look, which are the best categories for your book, the description of the text. That's the most important text of the book, like this actual description of that, and the keywords and the metadata optimization, which is how to work with the channel algorithm to actually make sure people see the book, because there are so many books being listed every day, so you have to find a way to jump to the top of the list. So all of that is happening before the marketing even starts. That's in the production phase, but it's marketing oriented. This is like the
So, question on the marketing, when when you do your websites and you're writing them and you're putting the SEO and the coding and all that stuff in there, and with people that do the books or they market them, how many people actually know what they're doing when it comes to that? Because it's all relatively new. There's a lot of old school people working within it. Is it a big problem? What, like, do people come to you after and say, "Can you change things or add things or what?"
So we can always do a revision of the book and relist it again. Okay, so that's something that we can do. But what I realized that throughout my career in publishing is that there are very good publishers out there who have no idea how to optimize the metadata. Okay, because and that's why you need.
Sorry, I'm going to cut you. I'm going to cut you off, and I'm just going to say this. There's probably a whole lot that don't even know what the word metadata means.
Yeah.
So maybe just for the people listening that aren't in publishing,
Okay.
give us a breakdown, a definition.
Okay. So it's an XML file with a lot of knowledge about the book, about 1,500 lines that somehow the authors need to understand how to do that by himself. Most of them has no clue. And so they go to an Amazon expert who will do that for them. So with our tools, we can actually optimize that with AI, and not only for Amazon, for each platform, there's different nuance that we can optimize to make sure we gain the maximum visibility on each channel. So that's why I say the marketing of the book start way before the marketing starts, because it starts on the technical stuff that you need to know how to do.
Wow, writing is not just writing anymore. It's become a science.
So what I'm trying to do is to make sure the writers can write and we take care of everything.
Yeah, I'm in awe. And is there and you'll publish any book, any kind of book?
Okay, so we do scan it, see if there's something hatred about it, if it started to I don't know, to spread hatred or to create.
So you're not like Facebook, who's removed all of the checks for all the bad stuff, right?
No, but if we see that Amazon's for some reason banned the book, so we unlist it from everywhere.
Right.
We don't want to take part in anything that is here to distribute bad stuff.
Agreed.
You know, in Hebrew, publishing a book is leotzi la'or. Okay, it's to bring out the light. Okay, so I'm here to share light. I'm not here to share darkness. So you know, there are a lot of angry people who are writing their anger. I'm not here to give that a hand. Okay, so that's what we will not publish. But I'm not here to determine who is worthy and who isn't worthy to being an author. Okay, so as long as let's say you spent over a year writing a manuscript, for me you are worthy to get published. There are those publishers who will tell you that probably the book is premature, probably it's not good enough. That's not our way of doing publishing. I believe that everyone is worthy, and let's give the readers decide what is good and what isn't. You know,
Everybody has their own story. One man's garbage is another man. One I can't say man. One person's treasure is another person's garbage, right? One person's bad story could be another person's life story. So we don't know. And is there in terms of, is there any restrictions on size of books, page count, anything? Is there?
We can take care of everything. Like we can create so many different. We have the standard formats that we recommend, okay, but we can take care of every different size of book regarding how much support it has, the size.
I don't know why. I don't know why other publishers wouldn't come to you and just pay the monthly fee on your website to have this done, because it's the same thing.
Yes, but we will not give them the files, so they will have to do the distribution with us.
Well, no, what I'm saying is it's probably less expensive for them in the overall bigger picture to come on and pay your regular retail rate and have it all managed. Because I'm thinking, when you sit down and you add up all the people, all the time, and all the phone calls that are required to make things happen. So you could almost white label it in another website just for them, and it would still be worth it.
Yes,
right.
That's why we've been approached so much by publishers, and we figure out that now we will not focus on that aspect of our product. but maybe in later stages we will, because right now there are so many features we want to develop for authors. Okay, and you maybe think that 100 people it's a lot, but it's barely enough to create whatever we are trying to create. So everyone is working late and long hours, and we are trying to create as much value as possible. So our roadmap is very, very tight, but probably in later stages we will offer maybe a white label, maybe maybe a publisher's
You
platform.
you ha- you have to have a white label, and even if you just copy what you're doing now and white label it, that's like that's why I say for even the other publishers and printers and I mean, I want to talk about this. I think this is amazing. It's about and even for the companies that would use it, the time they could do other things within their own company, right?
Yes.
That's more focused maybe to what they do and have this on the side. And if you guys are, if they're working and you're doing everything, and anyone who's listening, think about the real time and the real hours you spend doing things. I think too many of us, and I'll just say me included at times, you get caught up in the actual dollar spend, but you don't look on the other side of what went into that. And when you do, you realize, oh my God, had I done it over there, that $5,000, I could have made 50 grand with other ideas, being creative, helping other people.
You say that amazing.
It's not a rocket science. It's really, and I think, I guess people just complicate things because they get nervous, they get worried, and they get scared. So now I have this book, I have my files. Can I come to you to do an audiobook?
Of course. So right now we still do not have a different package for audiobook only. We are working on that. Soon we will. But for you, we can do that. I can even, like, if you could set. By the way, we can even use that podcast to sample
With
your
the
voice and to create your own voice model and to generate your.
I'll do it with you, but I wasn't asking for me. I was asking for people that are listening if they've already done a book somewhere. So if someone's
you will have that option, yes.
Okay. Now, if someone's done a book somewhere, they have the files. Can they come to you to do the book in other languages and an audiobook?
Yes.
And if they have a space on Amazon already, are you able to use that space? Can you create another, or that's something, do we know about that yet, or am I just coming up with new ideas?
No, so just like the new versions of the book will be listed on our Amazon store. That's the way we are working.
Cool. And you have like all the analytics for the sales, and everybody uses the word analytics. It's the new in word,
Yes.
I can think of a few other words that come from that, but not the wrong place, wrong time.
We have a whole team dedicated to that. So it's, eventually we are a data company. Of course we are AI.
Everybody's a data company, even if they don't know it.
Yes. Yeah. I just realized that way before.
Yeah, I mean, data is the new word. Data is the word of the century. It's it doesn't matter if you're a printer, if you're selling socks, all you want. Listen, all everybody wants today is your email address, your phone number. Can I text you and could I email you?
Yes.
And then they go on to sell the list.
Yes.
Right? For more stuff. But wow. So I'm just sitting here. It's not often I come across something that just wows me completely. And I am just so wowed.
Thank you.
Particularly because I just had this experience. And even when I went into it, I didn't think it was so difficult. It was challenging when I think back at the end to having to do, having to proof, having to manage everything. Even with who I'm doing it with, it was even hard to understand the whole Amazon process. Yes. Right? Every video you see online, there's always every expert telling you how they can make you money on Amazon. Same company that tells you we'll do your SEO and within a month you'll be number one on Google. Doesn't work that way, right? But I'm sitting and I'm just going, oh my, wow. I'm almost like,
we will never promise any royalties. Like we cannot promise a certain success with the book. We can only make sure we are doing our best, to improve the book chances to succeed. But if it will succeed or not, it's behind our hands. We do have the marketing tool that if you are willing to pour marketing budget into that, it might help. But yet, it's there is a reason why only 50,000 authors a year out of 2.5 million books being published are published traditionally. There's a good reason why. That's the odds, So
well, you have another 2,400,000 people to work with, right?
For me, it's amazing.
No, and listen, even when I started this, anyone who's getting into doing a book, and if you're going to work with someone, you're in for $4,000 to $5,000 just for the sitting down, the back and forth. And I keep holding it up to promote it, but you're sitting down with them, the time it takes, the doing, like nothing's cheap. And then even then, after actually another cost no one talked about, didn't think about, after we did the book and I read it, I gave it to another proofreader that wasn't part of the process, right? Because what happens is, well, in my own, I'll talk only for myself, but if I don't see a mistake, I will continue to not see that mistake.
I know. Like,
and then
I is getting used to the same mistakes. So if the same person read it again and again and again, eventually you will be.
Yeah, and my brain is too fast, right? So it doesn't stop; it just keeps going. So I always the same mistakes.
So in the old way of publishing, we used to have two different proofreaders, one after another, doing the same proofreading to make sure that no one missed any mistake. And still, every book being published has spelling mistakes in. But with AI, we actually solve that because we scan the whole file and we find everything. And you, as an author, can decide if you like to have this correction or not. But we will find every grammar or spelling mistakes in the book with our tool.
Listen, I remember, we talk about mistakes. I remember we used to produce annual reports for some big companies. And, there's a few times I remember back where the CEO of the company, who has his picture and his letter on the inside page, name spelt wrong. 20 proofs. They've all seen it. I wouldn't know. Right. But there's if it's Michael, it was EA instead of AE.
I'm very ashamed to say, but it's happened to me once in one of my books in Niv Publishing. Like, we misspelled the author's name and everyone went nuts. Like, how everyone missed that? And it happens. But if you have now you have the proper tools in place, those mistakes can never happen. So
yeah. Oh no. Anyway, so I was just going to finish. So when I gave out the proofing, there was another $1,500 that I did not budget for the book. Right. So whatever my initial spend was, it just went up. And then, anything else I did along the way that I didn't know, and I could tell you, and you probably know, and everyone else, when you do something the first time, you're as good as dead. Because I remember when I bought I bought a 56-inch big press for printing, and I remember it ran 14,000 sheets an hour, and I get my first opportunity to print a job on plastic, 500,000 sheets, and 13,000 by the hours equals this, equals that. I give the guy the price. He says, "Okay, job's yours." I just put the press in, $5 million, 100 feet long, whatever. We start running the job, and then I realize, I don't know what I'm doing, because I didn't know about plastic. Run the plastic job. We finish the job. Doesn't take 3 weeks. It takes 6 weeks. We sit down, and what did I learn? I learned again the hard way that you need to practice. You need to speak with people. The gentleman that I was doing it for was very kind in this learning mistake, and he said to me, "Okay, you didn't run 13,000 sheets. You ran 6,000 sheets. Go back and recost the job now." And I went, "Oh my God, this guy's amazing." I go back, I recost the job. Instead of 85,000, it's 135,000. And I'm thinking, wow, what a sport. Like, great. I send him the quote. He calls me up. He says, "Listen, now your price is bang on. Now take off 50 grand for the plastic that you wasted learning how to print." Right? So The same thing with the publishing or anything else.
The
Every
only
time
way
you
to
make a every time you make a change, the average person doesn't understand author's alterations. It's not about the correction, it's about the time the person's spending.
yes, yes.
So, oh my, it's
And
just
it's okay to make mistakes as long as you are aligned with that. To that, no matter what happened, you will fix and you will optimize.
and
And
you learn going forward,
yes,
right?
I remembered when I opened currently the one and only print on demand factory in Israel. We had a very very long learning curve.
What's it
Like
called?
it's part of Niv Publishing. So but it was
Okay.
very 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 hard to figure everything out, and we did a lot of iteration until we finally figure out how to publish print on demand books. You know, it's not that an easy task. You come from printing, so you probably understand how complicated can it be.
Right.
So,
I understand it, but the other thing is nothing's easy. Even the easy stuff isn't easy until you actually know what you're doing. And then by then you've already made so many mistakes that it is easy.
yes,
But nothing's easy.
that's the only way to learn in business, in fundraising, in startups, in relationships. Everything learned the hard everything learned the hard way is well learned. You know.
So just a little joke, you want to you want to talk about relationships and learning, like my first real long relationship and everything. It was like, oh, you know what? We don't need cards. We don't need cards. No Valentines. None of those Hallmark made up holidays. And whatever. And then the second time around, I realized that you should always buy a card on a holiday.
Mm-hmm.
It goes a lot farther than not.
Yes. And
Right?
keep another one just in case you forgot something.
Oh, well, no, you got to buy half a dozen, keep them in the drawer in case another time rolls around. The other thing is, I realized even when I was getting the books and I'm signing books, you make mistakes. So I've got 10 books where I got to wait till I come across people with that name and then I'm going to write them a note because you can't cross out, Wow. So, I'm just like flabbergasted, like just with the whole thing, and it just the potential for ease and moving things along
And it
a
will only
lot
get better.
quicker.
We have so much that we are working on right now that whatever we have now in 3-4 months, it will be much much better. So
4 months, I think in 2 weeks it'll be better, and 2 weeks after it'll be better, right? Because it's all about just all about the movement, and as we go we learn. It's
yes, of
pretty
course.
cool. Wow, I could probably think of like 100 more things, but I'm going to hold off. Why? Because we're going to do this again. You have a company that I want to follow. I want to, and maybe just because I did the book and I'm now super intrigued. And I don't come from a big publishing background. I'm in everything else: print, packaging, on demand, whatever. But the book world is cool. And even when we were doing the cover, my brother, who's the designer, he made me go with him to the bookstore so that we could walk around and look at all the other books written by individuals to see what it is. And a lot of people don't have pictures, they have words or something. And my brother's like, no, you're writing it about you. He says, you put you on the book.
Yeah.
Right. And I'm like, hey, you're the designer, do what you want. But it was so the point is, it was really important that I went with him to see, to know, to begin to understand what else is out there, because you just don't want to go on your own. But what a world to learn.
Yes.
Big. And since the print on demand, I think the self-publishing kind of just blew up because everybody wants a book.
Yes. And by the way, publish a book. It's the easiest way to build your personal brand, because in instant you become an expert. Now you're an expert of that or that or that. And if you're trying to build
that's why, honest to God, I didn't do this because my whole life my aspiration was to print a book. Right? I did it because at the with the little consulting and wanting to speak and go out, I put it together. And then when I was putting it together, I'm like, oh my God, that's pretty impressive. Like, I was impressed. you know. And then my friends, they
You're
laughed,
getting the
but
recognition. You actually published a book, which is very, very good accomplishment to do, because you know
exactly.
there are a lot of experts in a lot of areas, but not all of them published a book, and if you did, that's give you an advantage. So that can be
Well,
your
it
your
lets people know that that you're into it. It lets people know that you know, are investing in yourself
Mhm.
for all the right reasons. So
Yes,
no, very cool, very cool. So yeah, we're definitely doing this again. I'm definitely coming to Israel to take a tour of your facilities
amazing.
uh,
I have an
and hang
amazing
out.
podcast room here, so we can have a podcast here.
Oh, listen, I'll come there and set up you know, podcasts with some others and do them from your place as well,
You are more
right?
than welcome.
Thank you. Anything to promote people. The world needs more people promoting people, being happy, keeping things up there. I say it all the time. We're on this planet for a short time. Let's make it a good time. At the end of the day, you know, we all bleed red and we're all human. And I like to keep it like that. Before we close it down, do you have anything final that you'd like to tell to the three people that are listening out there? No, I joke all the time. I'm hoping there's more than three. But anything final? Anything you want to say?
I really enjoyed it, and like my message is the same as always. If you have a book in you, don't save it from the world. Let everyone give your book a chance. Who knows? It's maybe in 3,000 years someone will read it, and it it might last for ages. And books will probably outlive ourselves. So why not leave a mark on this planet?
Yeah. So one other benefit to that is it really looks good on your shelf or coffee table in your own living room,
Of
right?
course.
Actually, funny thing before I get it down is I went to my friend's house and he was moving and I helped him unpack and everything and we, you know, kind of set up the place, and I went into his room and that thing was set up and I just took my book and I put it on his pillow. Like, so when he went to bed at night, it was kind of sitting there and he just called me up and he was just kind of cracking up. Again, always trying to make a joke here and there. Yehuda, thank you so much. This was
Thank you.
so educating. Love to be educated. I don't like to be schooled.
Great.
I like to be educated. Bit of
I
a difference.
appreciate that a lot. Thank you.
Pleasure. Everybody else, I really hope you enjoyed this this podcast. I hope you enjoyed the topic. If there's anything you want to know, please reach out to me. When I post it, I will include the website for Spines. If you know anything interesting that you want to talk about print, anything, let me know. If you know anyone wants to be on the podcast, let me know. I want to promote print. I want to bring print back to life, and print is no longer dead. Remember, without print, the world does not function in any way. Printing's alive. Warren Werbit. We'll see you on the next one. Yehuda, thank you again. Most appreciated.
Thank you.